And you know what this is, man. Boy Siege in the building, the 5 finger, 2 finger, right beside the middle finger. This is Talk That Mess, episode 5, part 1. And this is what I'm gonna end up talking about. I'm gonna talk about people that goes back and sit there and tell everything, man. I'm sitting back chilling, right? Or whatever I'm doing, waiting on peoples and whatever the fuck they is. And all of a sudden I see one of my cousins. Well, it was my mom's cousin, one of my second cousins or whatever. I'm like, oh, go back and then sit there and tell this, that, and the third. I was like, why do you go back and sit there and you tell everybody else about what my business, my own business? If I want to sit back and, run around butt naked in the street, it's my business. If I want to sit back and smoke tweed, that's my business. Why would you go back and sit there and tell somebody else? If I'm sitting back chilling with somebody else, that is my business, man. And I make it my business to do my business. Otherwise, why you sit back and just go and do everything, go sit back and tell everybody, then, this is not a chain of command where you can sit there and tell my grandma this, after that, grandma sit there and tell my mom this, then go around and sit there and tell me this and that third. But, my mom sit there and said, I sit there and told her what's up and stuff like that. And, I'm a grown ass man. I make decisions for my own self. And no. And technically, I don't do no bad stuff or nothing like that. If I do something bad, it might be something out the ordinary that's going to protect myself, So I don't know why people, go back and sit back and tell. What they need to do is stay out people's business. Curiosity killed the cat, And if I want to sit back and tell you what's up, I will tell you what's up. That means I'm letting you into my business. But why the fuck I want to sit there and let you into my business? If you see something happen and I'm sitting there talking to you, don't go back and sit there and tell the other person, and especially it's family members. It's all about family members. They go back and sit there and say things and stuff like that. Like, you be like, shut the hell up, man. I'm not doing me. I'm not worried about you. So why you worried about me? So you should get broke through too. Shoot. It is what it is. People just need to stop nowadays, man. Cause business is business. People like to go back and tell other people's business, and they don't sit for them to be in the business. They go sit back and tell them. Shoot, that's one thing I have a gripe about all the time. It's like if I want to sit there and tell my mom something, I'm going to tell my mom just that that what I'm doing, what's up, so that if anything do happen, this is what's up, Anything if I see if it's bad. If somebody listens to me, I'll tell my mom if it was bad. Otherwise, if I see it wasn't bad, then I wouldn't put myself in this situation, That's the whole thing about it. I don't do nothing to put myself in a bad situation, So this person is talking to the cops, but I'm sitting back chilling with this person. If that person talking to the cops, I have nothing to do with that shit. Nothing to do with it. Otherwise, that's it. If they sit there and tell me, I'm not going to sit there and tell nobody, People tell me their business all the time. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, it's locked in the back of my head. You're like, you know what? This is how I help out. I sit there and tell people, they tell me these things about their lives, about their past, about whatever this and that the third is, And once they tell me, I'll go back and tell the other person, or to go to tell the next person, and go tell, my best friend, my ex-girlfriend, my girlfriend, my mom, my dad, they need to shut the hell up, man. For real. If I go back and tell somebody, that means I'm putting part of their business out there, and they go back and tell everybody else. And what's the sense of me sitting there telling their business, If people talk to me, I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna forget it. I'm just there to help you talk your problems out. I might give some advice, but that's what it is. Because I'm the type of person that help out like that. People just need to slow down, think about what you need to do. Just live your life, man. That's all you can need to do. Is live your life, man. Because I'm out doing my own thing. That's all it is. I'm out doing my own thing all the time. For real. If I'm rolling around in these streets, it's out for me. If I'm making money, it's out for me and my peoples. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about my people, I'm talking about my family members, myself. This is what it is. I'm out for me. What else I can sit there and say about this, man? It just get me upset because why they sit back. My grandma, right? This person told my grandma, I'm like, why you gonna sit there and tell my grandma this? She's sickly right now, man. She just got whatever happened to her, man, and stuff like that. Why you go back and sit there and tell grandma this? Go tell my mom this. It's my business, If I'm sitting there running around the street with a best friend and they bad, that make me bad? I'm just bad because I'm sitting there associating with them, and you gonna sit back and tell them? You just label it, but you know that's part of me. You know, if I sit there, I ain't gonna sit there and judge somebody. But if you hanging out with them, only thing I'm not gonna sit there and judge you by you hanging out with them. Because if you hang out with them, only way I judge you if you start to change and start to be like that person. You know, it's like me sitting there saying I'm gonna hang out with a gang and whatever this is. I'm not changing for nothing. That's only if you see me change right along with, you know, acting like the gang mentality or something like that, you know? That is just me, you know? So I don't judge people by who you hang out with, you know? Because 9 times out of 10, you know, if you're my best friend, you go changing around with others, that's totally upon you. That's you. I'm still going to be your best friend. Or it is. I'm not sitting there to judge you, but the only way I judge you, or like God, only God can judge people and stuff like that, but I'm just going to make mixed feelings because you hang out with certain people, you know? And people knows me for who I am, you know. I used to be that person. I used to be that quiet person all the time, you know, that timid people or whatever, or big husky dude, whatever, and stuff like that. And people that generally didn't like me because of what? I didn't have it, because people don't got what I got, you know. I just try to give back to the people that, you know, that make them feel good. That's all. It's Wolfpack all day, man.